Entaratazda, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kyle Laris, and today I just want to bring you a quick announcement before I bring you a game, and about a chat channel on StarCraft 2 EU servers named Kyle Laris, and if you want to drop by and chill out in there, that'd be fantastic. And then also, if I'm around or whatever, we could get maybe some fan games going on, and then we could cast them and upload them to my channel, which would be awesome. So come and hang around in the Kyle Laris channel, aptly named, because I couldn't think of anything else cooler. And yeah, so that'd be fantastic if we could get some things going. So right on with the game anyway. Let's go into replays and look for... which one shall I cast first? I shall cast Delphi versus mouzHasu. I randomly download pro games and just kind of cast them blindly, so let's see what's going on here. We do have Delphi versus mouzHasu. mouzHasu being a very good player from Mouse Gaming, and I'm pretty sure he may be going to Assembly. I wonder if anybody else is going to Assembly. I am not, unfortunately, going to Assembly, but it's going to be huge! Oh my god, it's going to be so big! And I turned down the opportunity to go there and do some LANing about a month ago, because I didn't have the money to go, so that sucks majorly. But for anybody else who is interested, Assembly in Helsinki is going to be going on the 14th, I believe, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be streamed online as well, and they've got a big StarCraft 2 tournament going on. I mean, like, all the Team Liquid guys going, the Muslims going, who else is going? Loads and loads of big names, lots of Finnish big names as well. So, we do have Delphi spawning in the 9 o'clock position-ish, and mouzHasu spawning in the 6 o'clock position as the yellow Protoss. I'm going to open up that production tab to see what's going on, and check out this game. This is going to be on Metalopolis, and I do like this symbol. Hey, I'm back to liking the symbols. That's a pretty cool symbol. What symbol do you have, mouzHasu? Oh, you're boring. What the... what's the point if they don't have cool symbols? What's the point? You see, this is just... Anyway. Delphi's sending over his Overlord. I would like to see mouzHasu scout this at a roughly time. I imagine this will be getting over here about 1 minute 20 on the clock. That's the normal time that I scout for that on Metalopolis. Throwing down that pylon in a position where he can throw down his gateways, so he can block off any Zerglings that do come along. And brilliant scouting there by mouzHasu, now knowing that Delphi is in that position there. But as I said before, look for that timing. About 1 minute 20-ish on your clock is when that Overlord will be arriving there, if you are on Metalopolis. Not that we don't already know this, but just in case, it's a really good trick to have up your sleeve, and it saves you a lot of scouting time if you do intend to go in a different direction. So, Delphi just throwing down that first extract. I imagine he's going to go pool right after that and then go for the expansion. Nothing else too tricky. And it seems like that gateway is halfway done for mouzHasu, and that is seen by Delphi. But it's been a long time since I've actually been able to play a lot of games, and Metalopolis is certainly one of my favourite maps. We do have that spawning pool going down for Delphi now, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people's favourite map, since it is just such a fantastic map. And there's actually a similar map in the 4v4 category currently on the PTR as we speak. So go check that out, because it's quite interesting. It's not exactly like Metalopolis, mind you, but it is certainly interesting. Early second guess there for mouzHasu. Maybe he was taking it thinking that Delphi was going to gas steal, as the drone was going in that direction. So nice play there by mouzHasu, because a stolen gas early on can stifle Protoss play quite dramatically, especially when it comes to the fact that if you're wanting to do a 3-gate expand against Zerg, and they do steal that gas, normally you want it to go for a lot of sentries, and you really can't get that many sentries out with the 1 gas alone. So saving up a lot of the Chrono Boost on this Nexus right now. I'm probably going to see it be used on the Cybernetics core, and we don't see a Zealot out yet for mouzHasu. I'm quite surprised that he's not bringing that Zealot out. There we go, there's the Zealot coming out. So he just wanted to crank out a lot of probes before he actually did anything, and he is now Chrono Boosting out that Zealot to make sure it does get out in time for these Zerglings. Although these Zerglings and this probe drone have been blocked off, denied this expansion by a scout, as well as this pylon going down. And now Delphi is going to be able to plant down that hatchery and get back into the flow of his own game. Hold position on that Zealot there, going to be good in order to block off these Zerglings, and we do have another pylon going down just to be able to spot anything that does go on. Any trickery that's going on in that corner of his base there. I would like to see a pylon go down over here, but we shall see that at some point, no doubt. Chrono boosting out some sentries now in order to aid them against these Zerglings, should they choose to kind of go full head on against this, and trapping those in, moving around with this sentry. A nice placement of that sentry, and getting the Zealot in there as well, but I'm not so sure the Zealot's actually going to survive. Maybe he will. He really needs to move that, and why am I getting such bad lag? I'm not so sure. And that Zealot just goes down. I'm not... 100 minerals for 125 minerals. Odd trade-off, but personally I would rather have the Zealot early on in the game, especially since now you hardly have anything to block that off. In fact, mouzHasu is using a probe to block that off. So second gateway now going down for Hasu, and this Zergling just trying to get in, but he's not going to be able to. Does die to those sentries. So nice use of this probe, but I really still don't think he should have lost that Zealot. I'm not 100% sure on the trade-off personally, but we'll have to see how the game develops. We do have another Zealot out now, blocking off that, and warp gates are warping in. Queen's over here, doing their good old injection thing. I'm surprised this hasn't injected just yet, since it could, and there we go, there's the injection. At this level of play, you really don't see many mistakes going on, but, you know, everyone is human, so these things happen, A third gateway now down for mouzHasu. So, indeed, I'm pretty sure we're going to see a 3-gate expand here, as just a lot of sentries were cranked out, and this sentry was going over here to fend off that Overlord, and it did indeed. So now a sentry, more sentries, and a Stalker even coming out as well, but he's going to have plenty of money to expand, and he's thrown down a Robo facility instead of the expansion. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens, and as you can see, Delphi was supply locked there for just a second, as that sentry, that lone sentry, was enough to pick off one Overlord, and an expansion going down on the gold here for Delphi. Really kind of ballsy play here. I'm really curious as to whether that's going to go unchecked or mouzHasu is going to find that. But the Nexus is going down for mouzHasu right now. Nice placement of that gateway, and it seems like mouzHasu may be applying some pressure. He's going to be running up to this watchtower with this Stalker. Just going to be attacking these Zealots. Zerglings even. They both start with Z, I hate that so much. And more Zerglings coming in order to be able to take out this Stalker, and they're going to get that Stalker if they so choose. Nice backing up there, nice force field, but a lone Zergling was trapped in with that Stalker and is taking it down. Odd trade-off once again, I'm not so sure it was worth it, since Stalkers are so crucial in the early stages of the game, against anybody really. And I'm pretty sure he must have seen that expansion by now. Let's have a look at the camera. Yes, he has seen that gold expansion, but he actually hasn't seen that expansion going down. So mouzHasu may be fooled into thinking that that is his only expansion. But actually no, I don't think so. He probably knows. He is now sending out an observer to check that out, throwing down a forge as well, and a lot of roaches now coming out for Delphi, as well as more gas going down for Hasu. So I imagine we're going to see some Colossi coming out pretty soon, going with that Twilight Council as well. And some Zergling's going to be doing a little bit of spotting action here for Delphi, and also taking one up there in order to spot for that expansion going down. Going to try and get in here with these Zerglings. Going to get a probe maybe. Doesn't get a probe. All those getting trapped in those force fields. Nice force fields there by mouzHasu. And mouzHasu has seen everything going on in the base of Delphi with this observer. So just chrono boosting out a few probes here, queuing up probes, interesting tactic there. And Blink now on the way for mouzHasu. We do have this gold nice up and running though, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens and how mouzHasu can compete with this, since if he does let this gold go unchecked for too long, he's going to be in dire straits. We do have a warp prism now coming out, which is going to be dead interesting, as I never ever get to see warp prisms in PvZ, but we should see more of them because warp prisms in general are pretty damn fantastic. In fact, in a lot of my practice games I use warp prisms, but never on ladder. I really should do, because it's so much more interesting than just doing normal stuff. So now a menacing force of Delphi's coming out here. A few roaches and a lot of speedlings can easily crush that Stalker force. So the Stalker force is going to move back, and getting positioned with these sentries are getting in a warp prism. Sentries are getting in a warp prism. There's something dying there, but sentries are in a warp prism. What? I want to... Oh my god, what's going on? Anyway, a Spire and an infestation pit going down for Delphi now, and a robotics bay now actually going down for mouzHasu as well. I'm just gonna follow these sentries in this warp prism. Where are they going? What are they doing? Delphi now does see this warp prism coming along, and oh, interesting use there of that. Getting those sentries up there, that was actually fantastic play. Using that for the high ground vision and warping. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this is so sexy play by mouzHasu. Oh, that is fantastic. Using the warp prism to get high ground vision, bringing in the sentries to block off that, and using the blink. Using the blink to take out all this. We do have a counter attack. Oh my, I've lost. I'm speechless. That was fantastic. Roach is now going to be pouring into Hasu's base if he's not careful. He really needs to get back and defend this. But that was an amazing play there by mouzHasu. That was absolutely fantastic. I've got to go try that. That was sheer brilliance. Taking out that cannon though, going to be taking out this forge pretty damn quickly, as well as that pylon. mouzHasu is just in the base trying to kill as much as possible. Going to be shielding that ramp once again with the force fields, but his natural has gone down, and so has the forge as well. These roaches dealing massive damage in his base, but at the same time these stalkers are just doing a lot of damage in the main of Delphi as well. This Spire is currently untouched though, so I'm surprised we haven't seen some Mutalisks coming out in order to reinforce this. Nice force field placement there by mouzHasu in order to deny these roaches getting up. Again, another nice force field in order to make sure that they can't get up at all. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Burrow come out for Delphi at this point in order to take it out. And Delphi actually expanding another 2 times, so taking 2 more bases whilst all this is going on in his main. Still force fielding that ramp whilst keeping force fields up at his main. Oh my god. Oh my friggin' god, mouzHasu, you are an absolute legend. Just keeping these force fields constantly up. That force field goes down once again. This force field's not going down, but he realised that these roaches are not in a position where they can attack. And now moving with these stalkers. These stalkers have taken out the main, and could be taking out the spawning pool and the roach spawn if they so wish. These force fields can just be forever. 4 sentries can keep that force fielded infinite for an infinite amount of time. A Baneling nest now going down, and more force fields going down in the main of Hasu. So this is getting absolutely ridiculous. Colossi range is now on the way. He's really wanting to get that Colossi out so he can fend off these roaches. A few roaches do get past the force field, and at the main now a few roaches also got up here in order to be able to try and fend this off, but he can still kill these and keep the force fields up. If he can keep these sentries alive, this is going to be ridiculous, because he can just keep the force fields going forever and ever and ever. Now shooting away. Oh, losing one of the sentries. That means he doesn't have infinite force fields, because you need 3 sentries to have infinite force fields on this ramp. And now the roaches are actually getting up. Nice force field there, cutting off some of the units, and he does have enough units in here to actually fend this off, but at the same time he's still applying massive pressure in the main of Delphi, and this is just absolutely ridiculous. A few overlords hanging out over there, chilling out, and we do have now that first Colossi out, so they're going to be able to fend off those roaches, no problem. But at the same time, Delphi is establishing huge map dominance. Nice blinking there from mouzHasu, trying to get those out of the main, and this is just absolutely fantastic play by both players, but especially mouzHasu. That attack with the warp prism and the sentries was absolutely amazing and perfectly timed, because if any units, if the majority of Delphi's units had been in his main at that point, then the attack just would not have worked. He really needed to keep a nice blink there to take out that overlord. That scouting overlord did see what it needed to see. And now Corruptor's coming out for Delphi in order to be able to combat these Colossi. Nice Guardian Shield, making sure that the units fleeing can't take as much damage. Nice pinning them up against this wall here, trying to make sure that they doesn't get a surround with those Zerglings. Blinking up here, trying to take out as many of the Corruptors as possible. And these Colossi really need to move backwards in order to get out of range. But one of them does go down. A second one is in dire straits, but moving it back, taking out that last Corruptor, and now the Zerg is forced to retreat. But moving back up, and oh, that Colossi gets picked up by that Warp Prism. Really needs to pick that up again. No, he needs dropped up Colossi. Oh, So gets a few pot shots off with the Colossi just before it dies. He really needed to unload that quickly, but now more Stalkers warping in, trying to fend this off. This is ridiculous. This is a fantastic game. mouzHasu has been confined to this one base, and he really needs to do something in order to be able to combat this. I don't see how he can come back at this point, though. Delphi is establishing such massive map control. He has so much, and it looks like, even though mouzHasu's fantastic play at the start of the game could have just put him in such a good position. Nice drop there by Delphi, and it seems like that's going to be the end of it for mouzHasu. So a damn good game there from mouzHasu, showing that there's still innovation yet to be had in the Protoss arsenal, but just a little bit too late when it came to actually defending his natural and it going down to the point where he has no more minerals. So that's going to be it, I suppose, guys, for that game. And mouzHasu does call GG, and Delphi calls GG as well. And that was a damn good game. So, thanks very much for tuning in, guys. Oh my god. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.